Hey guys, welcome to another Trade Genius podcast. I got my good friend Bob Kudla with me, and we're going to dive into yet another metric that we've been telling you about to watch. You're not going to want to miss this one. Let's dive in.
Trade Genius.
Okay, Bob. So we've got a few pieces to this puzzle coming together. I think, markets are breaking out to new all-time highs. We've been talking about this blow-off move. And so we're in a situation where I think we got a lot of bullish things that can happen into the year end, compounding the year-to-date gains. At the same time, we've got this big monster brewing under the hood, right? So people are going to think, well, we're going to talk about all of it, right? But it's going to seem like we're moving back and forth. But in reality, you kind of have to be looking at what we're going to talk about today, because ultimately that's what's going to really take over and give us what's going to happen into 2025. So today's metric is, what is it?
So Phil, let me paint a picture. So you're at the beach and the tide's going way out and you have a chance to get all these beautiful shells. The shells are called blow off top. You're picking all these shells up. You're picking up your Bitcoin shell, gold shell, oil shell, NVIDIA shell. And then once you're way far out there, you look at you and you realize you're in the midst of a tsunami coming at you. And that tsunami is unemployment claims and a massive recession. Check this chart out. This fractal is scary. So we've been tracking the analog between 2007 and 2024, Phil, has just been it's been scary. And we have this move here where initial claims are trickling up. And then you get to this point of 742 days, and then it absolutely explodes. And I think the same thing's going to happen here. And the reason why I say that, knowing nothing else, but we're getting to the end of the year, and companies are going to go ahead and they're going to clean up their balance sheets. They're going to do their confessionals. They're going to lay off a bunch of people so that they can say they're getting in front of this weak revenue that they're getting. And I think this is what's going to spike unemployment claims. I feel really bad for people working, because they're the ones that are going to lose their jobs at Christmas. And that's what we're going to see here. We're going to see this spike, and then it's all over. And then everybody's been talking about this, that, and the other thing are going to be like, we never saw it coming. That's because they don't watch our podcast.
Yeah, well, again, 365,000 is the line in the sand where it usually triggers a recession. You can go back into the initial claims chart and look at that, and it's very consistent. So I'm looking for that move to happen here. Again, this is going to coincide with a move up in the markets. So the markets are not the economy. That's just a reminder. That's going to be a function of just the way the modern markets flow, and basically dividend reinvest and capital reallocation. When you're up into the end of the year, you're going to see more up into the last quarter more often than not. Even though the economy is flashing red flags here, you got unemployment coming up from a rounded bottom, which is a huge red flag. That's why we have a runway too, though. Once this hits these historical metrics, the markets will start to recognize what that means, and they will start to price it in. So in terms of things like TLT, right? So that's the big trade. That's your big insurance policy against all of these charts. And what that needs to start to happen is we got to see that breakout on that weekly trend line that we have on it, which is overhead. And we've had a couple attempts to break that, haven't seen it break out yet. In fact, TLT, in terms of SPX, that ratio is actually going down still. But that being said, I think too, we have a shot here to see TLT hold 92, right? Potentially another higher low at 92, and then that could start to take off. They can both go up. TLT and SPX can continue to rise. I personally think they are going to both go up into the end of the year, but at some point there's going to be a breakaway. SPX is going to roll over and TLT will not. And then that TLT ratio will start to break out, and that's going to confirm, I think, what we've been warning, and that is we have a recession at foot.
Yeah, look, look at today. So gold all-time high, copper all-time high, energy's holding up just fine. Bitcoin, hit your ABC move. Now it's starting its move higher.
Yeah, $4,000 move, Bob, in 24 hours.
Yeah, and MicroStrategies. I mean, we had almost a $30 move today in MicroStrategy, and those of us who've been trading with us and with Misty, remember people were complaining it was 18, now it's at 28 and going to 40. My point is, NVIDIA was flat today. So remember, if people are sensing a blow off in another sector, they're going to suck it out of things that have been working, and they're going to try to make a run for the highs in other sectors. Also, the other thing happening, Phil, is that we're seeing those shorted stocks start getting bid again too. So this is the move. I just want people to not be confused. Don't confuse this with a new bull market or a soft landing. This is absolutely big money creating an environment for them to pass on stocks to you that are overvalued. And with that, guys, if you want to trade with us, come to tradelikeagenius.com. We definitely have this thing wired. I mean, these last couple of weeks have just been nothing short of awesome, and I think it's just beginning. And the poly markets are saying breaking Trump's way, and I think the market is voting with their money. And because I think that the markets and the economy would prefer Trump over Harris, and I think they're voting with their pocketbook, which is the most powerful poll you can get.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next video. Take care.
Trade Genius.